Today I'm gonna be giving you a tour of my laptop gaming setup. I was visiting my parents for a while, but to be able to still make content, I needed a gaming setup. So I decided to make a simple one in my old small bedroom. I will link everything I use here in the description down below, so without further ado, let's get started first with the star of the show. It is of course the laptop as my main workstation. I'm using the Asus ROG Strix G16 and the specs of this laptop are very strong. It has Intel i9 13th Gen RTX 4080, 32 gigs of RAM and 2 TB of storage. And not only that, the screen is 240Hz and it has 2K resolution. Really good both for gaming and media consumption, and it's more than capable of handling anything I do, whether it's gaming or work related. I'm not lying when I say this laptop really feels as good as a desktop. And I've experienced gaming laptops before and they either overheat or have way lower performance compared to a desktop with the same specs. Big shout out to Asus ROG for making this video possible by sending me this beast of a laptop. By far it's the best laptop I've ever owned, so I personally will keep using this laptop whenever I travel around and cannot use my PC. Don't forget to check it out in the description and pin comment below. I'm using two external monitors for my setup. My main monitor is the Asus 280Hz. This monitor is 25 inches and it's great if you like a high refresh rate monitor. Although there are better ones with 360Hz or higher, you also have to consider that they cost a lot more. The fact that you can get this one much cheaper just with slightly less performance still makes it a good option. Color wise it's nothing special, but since I use it mainly for gaming, I don't have any issues with that. My second monitor is a 2K 144Hz monitor from Xiaomi. This monitor is 27 inches and it's great for productivity as it gives me more screen space to work with. The color is also much better. I usually edit my thumbnails on this monitor, and my only concern about it is I cannot mount it on a monitor arm. Somehow the bracket is not compatible, which is kinda strange, but still a nice value monitor for the price. My main gaming keyboard is the Wooting 60HE cause yeah, everyone knows it's the fastest gaming keyboard right now, but I only use this keyboard only when I'm gaming. For other activities like writing scripts, editing or daily use, I always use my custom keyboards because they are just way more comfortable and fun to use. I'm only bringing two custom keyboards from my collection and I have spent about $2,000 on these two custom keyboards. Not something I'm proud of for sure, even though they look and feel much better than normal keyboards. My mouse is the Finalmouse Starlight. I've been using this for a few years already and it's been my favorite. This mouse weighs only 43 grams, super light, great sensor, looks great and has long battery life. After using this mouse for a while, I literally don't have the desire to get another gaming mouse. An absolute recommendation, but only if you can get it for retail. Paying aftermarket for this mouse is not worth it because sadly flippers just went crazy with the aftermarket price. My main mousepad is the Artisan Zero. Quite pricey to be honest, but I cannot deny that it's the best mousepad I've ever tried with my years of gaming experience. Not something I would recommend to everyone, especially if you're just a casual gamer. But if you're really into competitive FPS games, you might want to give it a try. For my audio, I'm using IEM's Moondrop Blessing 3. These IEMs are very comfortable to use for a long time period. Plus it doesn't give me a head dent like headphones do. They sound really good, especially for music, and for FPS games I've never had any problem pinpointing where the enemy steps are. But in my opinion, you don't have to spend this much if you just want to have a good enough audio for gaming. There are plenty of budget options out there that are good enough to just give you precise information on where the enemy steps coming from. The big difference I would say between the budget and the more expensive ones is the music experience. So keep it in mind that you don't have to spend a lot of money on a pair of IEMs or headphones if you just want to use it purely for gaming. I've had experience using $10 headphones up to $600, and in terms of the advantage they give you in FPS games, it's not much of a difference if I'm being honest. And if you're wondering what this thing is, it's a docking station to help me connect all of my peripherals without using many adapters. Since the ports from the laptop are limited, using the docking station can transform the laptop to feel like a proper desktop. The one I'm using is the CalDigit TS3 Plus. Also, I will link this down below with the others if you want to check it out. My mic is the Elgato Wave 1. I have been using this mic for almost 3 years. This mic is really good for streaming and recording. It has a built-in compressor and limiter, so my audio always sounds great. Another big selling point is the Wavelength software. It allows me to control my audio way easier than manually adjusting it in the recording software. I would say it's totally worth the price considering it's really affordable. Above my monitor is a monitor light. I'm using a Xiaomi light bar to light up my desk. The brightness can be adjusted using the controller here, and it simply helps me to see my screen better in low light conditions. For my keyboard cam that you see in my videos, I'm using the Sony a6000 camera mounted on a table tripod. This camera is of course more expensive than normal webcams, but it gives much better quality, plus you can also use the camera for other things. And in my experience, it's a worth upgrade for me. For the desk, I'm using an electrical standing desk from Logitech. I bought it on a local e-commerce store here in Indonesia and it costs around $300, which I think is affordable considering it's an electric standing desk. I can adjust the height to use it while standing, generally good for my body to reduce sitting too much in front of the computer. I'm using a cheap office chair from my parents. I think they cost around 20 bucks, so it's not a fancy or anything, but it gets the job done as a chair. Again, everything I showed you in this video, I will link them in the description down below. And I hope you guys enjoyed it.
One enemy remaining. Spike down B. One enemy remaining. Spike planted.
My ult's ready. Yes. Brimstone's dead.
One enemy remaining.
Man.
Good stuff. Gun.
One enemy remaining.
Sorry. This was. Don't get it. Cycle.
One enemy remaining.
Sweet boy. Time to jump.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
Fake teleport. Die. My ult's ready. Time to jump.
One enemy remaining.
Stay down.
One enemy remaining.